What's up, everybody? It's me. Probably one of the only times I'll make like a gameplay video, like a gameplay commentary video. The only reason this is being made is because I need to reinstall Windows, but I haven't like uploaded in 2 months. Like I've been having like random like performance issues with my PC, and it's really annoying. So it's better just to like, you know, reinstall Windows, because what else can you do on Windows, you know? Like, oh shit, I have a problem, might as well delete my entire fucking operating system. You may be wondering like, oh, I'm fucking gaming right now, like what the fuck, I'm not like studying. No, what the fuck. I think when people find like a passion of theirs, they'll find a way to make it work, and they'll discover a lot about themselves through it. And it doesn't really matter what it is. It can be sports, it can be esports, it can be writing, it can be programming. For me, it was Super Smash Bros. Melee. I've learned a lot about myself as like a competitor, and like tackle stressful situations, and like how to like keep my head in the game without like doomering off the planet. Yeah, I was miserable. I was a rager, and then I stopped being a rager, and it was because I started playing Super Smash Bros. Melee. I also like started like seeing more like people in real life because of this game. So I started playing Melee again in like 2020, 2021, whenever Slippy came out, and you know, like it was a lot better than the old online. So I started like really sort of trying, but I was kind of like having a bad time with it because I didn't really know how to learn. And then I got into the whole self-improvement thing because of like Toph. And then eventually when Jmook would have his crazy run at Genesis, that also really inspired me to like pick up Sheik and have like a fun time playing the game. So yeah, like, I started like this whole self-improvement thing just from playing Melee, and like reading the Inner Game of Tennis and like Atomic Habits and like I don't think I would have probably like done any of that if it wasn't for me playing Melee. Gaming has a lot of positives, and it also has a lot of negatives. Like when you're playing a game like Melee, or like a fighting game in general, the best experience you can have is in person. And being in person playing this game is like really easy, because like, oh, you get an old TV, you get a modded Wii, that's it. Like you want to go to a friend's house to go play Smash, you just bring your GameCube controller. You don't need to bring like your keyboard, mouse, and monitor. Like, and it's just like really, it's like really homey. And that environment was something that I was missing a ton, like especially last summer. So I went through like some pretty bad friend drama, which led me to be like, you know, like super depressed. My self-worth went all the way down, all my habits went away. I became really like doomer, and I kind of felt like, I don't know, I felt like subhuman. It was like, oh, like what do people like actually like me, or do people just want to use me? Or do they just tolerate me to save face, and then like at a moment's notice just like want to drop me? It's kind of like that sort of like betrayal, when it's like you have someone in your life that you think is cool, and then you figure out that they're not that cool. That like, it kind of sucks. So I really like last summer especially, like I really like isolated myself. I basically like talked to no one. I didn't really leave my room. I would see a friend like once a month, and I also had like an old friend of mine from like high school like just straight up ghost me after, like, she was already like a bad texter, but then like I've known that, but then when the text went from like, oh, like a month, which is like normal, to like over a year now, it's like that kind of sucks. Not having like a really great support system and being isolated all that time really like had like a negative impact on me. But something that like sort of kept me sane was like going to like my local Smash tournament and seeing all the people there and like having a good time, even if I'm not like this most like active person and go all the time. Because like unfortunately I'm a little more busy now than I was last summer, and I have like things that I want to accomplish that are like not gaming related. Like that just happens, and that's life. Having like a community, especially a local community that you can like see and talk to and interact with and like be homies with, like that's something that like I've always like kind of like dreamed of, which I have had. Like I'm not gonna say like I've never had friends before, but in the way that like it works with Melee, it's like different because you have a bunch of these people who are also like really good at something that you enjoy, especially when you're like a shitter like me, and like you look up to these people and they're all just trying to help you. They're all like, yeah, hell yeah, man, we'll help you out, like we'll give you tips. I'm like, oh, thank you. Having that sort of like camaraderie is something that like I really like. But yeah, like Melee and like 2020 2021 like got me out of like a very dark place, and then like recently in like summer of 2023 again got me out of a very dark place. I think more than anything, and this might get like a little like too real for people, I think more than anything Melee helped me realize like my own self-worth. I always had a problem with like my own identity and thinking whether or not like I deserve anything. I've always found myself to be in like a very good situation, like life-wise and like health-wise and like opportunities and everything, and like the people I'm surrounded by. I've always been like good at like being kind of involved and like caring and like very like compassionate. I never saw like a reason for me to like receive that same treatment, if that makes any sense. I was like, when I was like in high school especially, I was like very depressed. I didn't really feel like I deserved anything, but I felt it to such an extreme. It was like I felt like I deserved nothing at all. So I just want to like give, because other people would be better off with like the opportunities that I've like had than I would. Like they would take better advantage of it. And I think with like Melee especially, it was like I always wanted to like win, and I knew like how to win, and I would like see the spots that I could like win in, and I would just choose not to, if that makes sense. I think that kind of makes me sound like cocky, but it was kind of like this mental barrier of like, I get really upset when I lose, right? So I don't want people to feel the same way. So I might as well like try and do dumb things just to throw, so then other people could like experience more. But then like I would just get mad. I was always just like sabotaging myself just because I didn't feel like I wanted any sort of success, like in any form, like studying, video games, friendships, just because I felt like I didn't deserve anything. And then I think like after I got back into playing Melee, I kind of realized that like everyone is on their own road, is on their own path. I shouldn't feel guilty or feel bad because I got an opportunity that someone else didn't. And I also shouldn't like, you know, like act as like a sacrifice just because someone else didn't get an opportunity that I got. Like that's kind of like pathetic. Or not even pathetic, it's just kind of silly. Ugh. Oh. No. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I'll see you guys another time.